Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news for the week ending the 7th of February, summarising all the week's happenings here in a manageable bite-sized portion. And if you want more details on any of the news we're about to discuss, please check out my channel for a deeper breakdown of each of the subjects. This week's sneak peek in the newsletter was that of Orison, the floating cloud city, and its underside here. This is the landing zone at the gas giant Crusader that should no longer be a placeholder asset Crusader in 3.14 later this year, along with Orison also coming in that patch. That's the Q2 patch, expected at the end of June. Star Citizen now for 3.12.1 is now live, and that came out during the week. There was a huge amount of fixes for this patch, and it does address a good amount of the most annoying issues that the 3.12 branch had. It's a very, very good patch in my opinion, and when it comes down to stability and accessibility, I've been able to play for hours and hours and hours without a server crash. The new XenoThreat event is also now on. It's going on in phases that each will last for a few days. Phase 1, you haven't missed anything really, because nothing happened in that phase. It was a preparation phase. It's currently in Phase 2, and this is the cargo and rearm phase. Basically, you're rearming a javelin, defending that javelin, defending Jericho spaceport or sort of military build base installation or whatever, and going to these Starfarer X nearby and grabbing the cargo out of those and bringing them across. It's a little bit of fleet battliness, a little bit of wave assault, a little bit of moving cargo from A to B. It's quite an in-depth mission. It will take you quite a while, even with a medium-sized group of people. So like maybe 20 people will take a couple of hours, maybe. It should move on to Phase 3 later next week, and I was originally expecting all the phases to actually be played out immediately, one after another, but that's not the case. There is a few days of like each of the phases, and then they move on to the next, and they won't go back to the previous. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. So, just so people are fully aware, Cloud Imperium plan to have events like this in Star Citizen when they're in live, that they will be limited time events, and they might have very similar ones in the future, but they are unlikely to have exactly the same event again, though they haven't 100% ruled that out. That does seem to be the intention. Let me read you exactly what Xylo said in response to phases and events being limited time. My comment above about previous phases being history was specifically in reference to us not repeating phases during an active event. Is it possible this specific dynamic event happens again? Possibly. We're not ruling it out, but I wouldn't expect to play an event on repeat. I totally understand that some folks don't want to see this event end or go away, and that's good because there are many more events to come, and they're only going to get better as we take on feedback, optimize, and continue development. There are so many more events to come. We know that Cloud Imperium are working on 8 to 10 events between 8 and 10 this year, and it's worth getting involved in XenoThreat in its current phase to avoid missing out. And maybe that's part of what Cloud Imperium are going for with their playable alpha at the moment. A little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out gameplay, so that you want to actively play. You don't want to miss these events when they play them. So that might be quite smart of Cloud Imperium. As they evolve their game, they get better at making events, they get more assets, they can keep on saying, well, these events are going to get better and better and better. There's a reason to play each of our major patches because they've got unique events in them. And yeah, we use these unique events to shape the universe and work out how to do better events in the future, but these are unique and these are never going to be done again. So that's quite interesting. So yeah, it gets more people playing. I can sort of see that. And yeah, it's going to annoy some people, I'm sure, and it's going to make some people go, oh god, I've missed a bit, so how can I play that? Oh, you can't. Well, that's upsetting. That's a bit annoying, but we'll see how that evolves and how that changes. You can say that about all of Star Citizen anyway, as it evolves and as it changes, as they're building it as a playable alpha. There's going to be a huge amount of change before the game goes live. Inside Star Citizen this week looked at capital ship AI, as well as the new assigned distance field, SDF shields, which are being added to the game as we speak. Capital ships are massive and cool, and they spent a lot of time getting them balanced for the XenoThreat event and AI sort of attacking appropriately, whether they be using the capital ship or the capital ship being attacked. And we know that they're going to be using them for future events as well, like the Nine Tails lockdown, and it's going to be a while before players are going to be able to crew their own javelins and Idris, and they've even fixed the problems or issues with players being able to steal Idris, which they're not supposed to be able to. They've specifically made turrets on these AI ships sort of target multiple ships rather than overly focusing fire on a single ship constantly. This was in part in an attempt to make battles more fun, but obviously they're going to balance that more in the future. Those turrets on those capital ships do actively target torpedoes and bombers as well, and sometimes prioritize those over fighters. The Idris will try and railgun larger targets and keep range and try and shoot them. The Javelin will try to keep enemies in its broadsides and pelt them with huge amounts of continuous high DPS fire. The new sign distance filled shields wrap around a ship more appropriately to fit its form, including if bits have been shot off with a more detailed mesh, which looks pretty cool and changes colour as the shield takes more damage in those areas, so you can visually see how much damage is done. This should entirely solve issues with shield holes as well, and you can see like the capital ships in the game at the moment, they have this tech to some degree, and they're going to be phasing it in for lots more ships going forward. Star Citizen Live talked about weapon props and FPS gear. They're working on a medical attachment for the multi-tool, as well as a standalone medical tool that will allow for some more expanded medical gameplay and treatments. They have been working on getting the wear tech in-game for FPS weapons and gear, so that might happen at the same time they get medical tools in-game. And sort of looks like they're going to meet that around the same time. Alien FPS weapons will start to be added to the game once the main set of human-facing weapons are completed. They will be having customization and various paint schemes for FPS weapons, so they've talked about getting the same sort of tech and paint sort of variety that ships have in-game, or ships will have in-game on the FPS gear. More less than lethal weapons are planned as well, so stun weapons, knockout weapons, FPS sort of hand-to-hand combat weapons for bounty hunting or whatever are going to be in game. Fire extinguishers are mostly complete already apparently, and they're going to be part of firefighting and damage control gameplay, which I'm very much looking forward to. So fire's going to break out on ships as your ship gets attacked, or for other reasons. That will suck up oxygen if you're not careful. That might block your ability to go and move around the ship or go and repair a part of the ship, so you're going to have to get a fire extinguisher out and put it out. There is a military and combat ship sale ongoing at the moment. As part of the XenoThreat event, you can grab an Arrow, Gladius, Buccaneer, Gladiator, Saber, Cutlass Blue, Super Hornet, Retaliator, Eclipse, and the Vanguard, Warden, Sentinel, and Harbinger. Remember, you can get all those in game as well, but you can also buy them on the website at the moment. The RSI subflare this month is of some futuristic samurai, Oni, ogre helmets in red, white, and green. All RSI subs have access to the Nomad throughout the month as well. And that's it for the week's news. Have you been participating in the XenoThreat event? What do you think so far? How is 3.12.1 for you? Are you excited by the next phase of the event, or are you worried that you might miss bits of it? Do you like how they're doing these events? What would you like to see from events in the future? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and February is no different. This month is for a Mercury Star Runner. It's a multi-role ship, but also a solid data and cargo runner, and flyable now in game. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during a month. Details below. I'm also a massive shill for NordVPN. If you are looking for a VPN service, and you should, then NordVPN acts as a fleet of ships protecting your data from prying eyes while also providing privacy like a ship would. Enjoy the interwebs without borders, securely and safely. Use the links below for discount. I can't promise it will make your life better, but I can imply that. Also, there is Game Glass. Do you have a touchscreen device that you want to use as a diegetic controller or interactive panel for Star Citizen and other games? Check out Game Glass. It's free for life for the basic version, and you can buy additional shards or functionality or subscribe for more as well. A special thank you for everyone that goes the extra mile to become a channel member or Patreon, as well as just liking and subscribing or sharing these videos. If you would like to further support the channel, then please consider using the YouTube join button below my videos and becoming a BoredGamer channel member. You'll get some exclusive content each month, as well as badges that appear in the comments section of videos and emotes that you can use and all that sort of jazz. Thank you so much for checking out my content. You take care, and I hope to see you in the verse.